I never thought owning a small piece of land could cause so much trouble. It all started when I fenced off a section of my backyard and turned it into a mini dog park for my golden retriever, Max. He's a playful, gentle giant who loves chasing tennis balls and rolling in the grass. My friends from the neighborhood, who also had dogs, would come over sometimes, and soon enough, the place became a small gathering spot for local pet owners. Everyone loved it. Well, almost everyone. Enter Karen. She lived across the street, in a house with trimmed hedges sharp enough to poke an eye out. The kind of neighbor who memorized the HOA rulebook like it was her Bible. The first time she saw Max bounding around with other pups, she marched right over, arms folded, lips pursed like she'd sucked on a lemon. "Do you even have a permit for this?" she asked, her tone dripping with disdain. I tried to stay calm. "It's just a fenced yard, Karen. Dogs need a place to run, and everyone here seems to enjoy it." She sniffed. "Everyone? I don't. The barking is unbearable. This is a residential area, not some kennel." From then on, she made it her mission to shut us down. She called animal control twice, but both times they found nothing wrong. She even filed noise complaints, but my neighbors, bless them, signed a petition defending the park. Still, Karen wasn't satisfied. One evening, as I was tossing a frisbee for Max, I saw her standing at the edge of her driveway, phone in hand, snapping photos like some undercover detective. The next morning, I received a letter from City Hall. Karen had officially reported my unauthorized dog park to the mayor's office. I won't lie, I panicked. I imagined fines, warnings, maybe even being forced to tear down the fence I'd worked so hard to build. My neighbors reassured me, saying the mayor wasn't the type to act on every petty complaint. But I couldn't shake the feeling that Karen had finally found a way to ruin something good. What I didn't know then was that this complaint would set off a chain of events that no one, not even Karen herself, could have predicted. Because instead of shutting down my little dog park, the mayor was about to make it famous. A week after Karen filed her complaint, I received a letter from City Hall requesting a meeting. My stomach dropped when I saw the official seal. What if this really was the end for Max's park? When I arrived, I was surprised to find not only a city clerk, but also Mayor Thompson himself waiting. The mayor was a tall man with salt and pepper hair, known for being approachable and deeply involved in community projects. He greeted me with a firm handshake. "Mr. Collins," he said, "we've had a rather passionate report filed about your backyard." I swallowed hard. "Yes, sir. That would be from my neighbor, Karen." He chuckled lightly. "Ah, yes, she's quite thorough. I'll give her that. According to her, your yard is a full-scale illegal dog facility, disturbing the peace of the neighborhood." I shook my head, half embarrassed, half frustrated. "It's just a safe space for my dog Max and a few neighbors' pets. The dogs play, people chat, and honestly, it's brought the community closer together." The mayor leaned back in his chair, considering my words. "Funny thing is, we've had a lot of complaints lately about there being too few safe spaces for dogs in this city. Most people don't have big backyards, and our official dog park is overcrowded." That's when he asked the question that floored me. "Would you mind if I came by to see it for myself?" The following Saturday, Mayor Thompson showed up at my house, dressed casually with sunglasses on. When he stepped into the backyard, Max bounded up, tail wagging furiously. The mayor laughed as Max nudged a slobbery tennis ball into his hand. Before long, half the neighborhood was there. Dogs running around, kids laughing, owners chatting. It was lively, but in a good way. Not the chaos Karen had painted in her complaint. "This," the mayor said, gesturing around, "is exactly what our city needs. Community, connection, a place where people and pets can enjoy themselves without judgment." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. By Monday, word spread like wildfire. The mayor announced in a council meeting that he wanted to create more small-scale community dog parks, and he was using mine as a model. Karen's complaint had accidentally spotlighted something positive. When she found out, her face turned crimson with rage. I caught her muttering under her breath as she stormed to her car. This isn't over. But for the first time, I felt hopeful. Maybe, just maybe, this little backyard project was about to become something bigger than I ever imagined. Karen was not one to accept defeat quietly. If anything, the mayor's praise for my backyard lit a new fire under her. She doubled down, going door to door with a clipboard, trying to collect signatures for a petition to end the noise pollution. Most neighbors politely declined. Some even laughed when they realized her mission was still about Max's park. But a few people, perhaps tired of barking or simply eager to avoid conflict, signed it. Karen waved those papers around like trophies, convinced she had the upper hand again. One evening, as I set out water bowls for the dogs, she marched up to my gate. "You may have fooled the mayor," she snapped, "but you won't fool everyone. This circus can't go on forever." I stayed calm. "Karen, nobody's being hurt. The mayor saw the good it's doing. Why not just let people enjoy themselves?" Her eyes narrowed. "Because rules are rules, and if I have to climb every ladder of city government, I'll make sure this dog park is torn down." Her words rattled me, but not as much as the letter that arrived a week later. This time, it wasn't just an invitation to talk. It was a notice that the city council would hold a public hearing. The future of my dog park would be debated openly. I braced myself for the worst. On the night of the hearing, I walked into City Hall to find the chamber packed. On one side sat Karen and a handful of her supporters. On the other side, dozens of neighbors, their dogs' photos printed on signs, waved at me encouragingly. My heart swelled at the sight. Karen went first. She spoke with sharp precision, her voice dripping with irritation. "This so-called dog park is nothing but a nuisance," she declared. "Barking at all hours, strange people coming and going. It lowers property values. It's an eyesore, and it's against residential zoning laws." Her argument drew a few nods, but when it was my turn, I told the story of how it all began. I spoke about Max, about the lonely retirees who'd found company here, about the kids who'd learned responsibility walking their dogs. "This isn't just a yard," I said. "It's become a community. We look out for each other here. Isn't that what a neighborhood is supposed to be?" The room erupted with applause. Even council members leaned forward, impressed. Karen's scowl deepened, but I knew at that moment whether I won or lost. Officially, the spirit of our little park had already taken root in people's hearts. What none of us expected was the mayor's next move. The council meeting ended with a promise. They would review zoning laws and make a decision within 30 days. 30 days felt like 30 years. Karen strutted out that night, convinced she had planted enough doubt to sway the vote. But Mayor Thompson wasn't finished. 2 weeks later, I received a call asking me to attend a special announcement at City Hall Park. The mayor wouldn't say what it was about, only that I should bring Max. Curious, I showed up with my golden retriever, trotting happily beside me. To my surprise, dozens of neighbors were already gathered, many holding their dogs on leashes. The local news van parked nearby, cameras already rolling. The mayor stepped up to the podium, smiling broadly. "Ladies and gentlemen, our city is growing, and with growth comes the need for spaces that bring people together. Recently, a complaint was filed about a backyard gathering place for dogs. But instead of shutting it down, it inspired us to think bigger." My chest tightened. Was this really happening? The mayor continued, "Today, I'm proud to announce the city will be creating a new official dog park right here in this neighborhood. And in honor of the pup who started it all, it will be named—" He paused, grinning at Max, who tilted his head curiously. "Max's Park." The crowd erupted in cheers. I nearly dropped Max's leash from shock. My goofy golden retriever, who was currently licking a child's ice cream cone, was about to become a local legend. Reporters swarmed, snapping photos of Max with his tongue hanging out, while neighbors clapped me on the back. Some of the council members came over to shake my hand, saying they'd been convinced not just by my words at the hearing, but by the overwhelming support of the community. And then, through the noise, I spotted Karen at the edge of the crowd, arms crossed, jaw tight, Her face was a storm cloud against the sunshine. She didn't clap. She didn't smile. She simply turned and walked away, muttering something I couldn't hear. But her disapproval no longer mattered. The city had spoken, the mayor had sealed it, and Max had unknowingly etched his paw print in history. That evening, as Max curled up at my feet, exhausted from all the excitement, I couldn't help but laugh. Karen had set out to destroy the park. Instead, she'd handed us a victory bigger than any of us imagined. From then on, whenever kids shouted, "Let's go to Max's park," I couldn't help but feel proud. What started as a backyard dream had become a community landmark, and all thanks to one determined neighbor and one very good dog. Enjoying this wild story about how a complaint turned into Max's very own dog park? Hit that subscribe button for more unbelievable neighborhood tales. And if you loved Max's victory, give this video a like and drop a comment below. What would you name a park after your pet?